Welcome to HPE GreenLake Try and Buy webinar. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a great program lined up where we'll be talking with experts, dwelling into the changing paradigms of our industry and how to really think about the next phase of your transformation. So to put forward some perspective, businesses of all sizes in every industry now operate in a hybrid edge to cloud world. While a large majority of businesses have a cloud-first mentality, the idea of what that means has greatly shifted over the past several years. And the reality is that cloud-first is really hybrid cloud-first. In fact, the world is going hybrid, where over 95% of organizations have both public as well as private cloud environments. Organizations recognize that a one-size-fits-all approach through public cloud does not really work for the majority of their businesses or even mission-critical applications and data, which must stay on-premise or at the edge due to several factors, including compliance, control, governance, latency, and even security. Even those that consider themselves broad cloud adopters have 40% of their applications running in a private cloud. And a recent survey by Flexera shows that 41% of the businesses expect to increase their spending on private cloud this year. So what the market is really telling us is that organizations are looking for the cloud experience, whether they're operating in the public cloud or in their own data center or even co-location facilities. And when we think of what that experience means, it is the speed and ease of deploying resources, the ability to offload the burden of operating the underlying technology, the confidence of having scalable capacity available as and when you need it, while paying only for what you use. This is where HPE GreenLake comes into the picture, where it provides the businesses complete business agility and flexibility to choose, and most importantly, in a consumption-based model. It provides cloud experience where your applications and data is sitting, while providing rich insights and better performance across your hybrid landscape. So you can run faster without worrying about unpredictability in cost and bringing complete control of tech environment in your hands. And a hybrid strategy is crucial to improve your business outcomes and deliver that experience by allowing organizations to place each workload in optimal environments, which brings in flexibility, security, and most importantly, pay as you grow operating model. In fact, we're seeing an increasing number of enterprises as well as startups that were cloud native earlier migrate to hybrid cloud environments from a single cloud setup to drive more efficiencies, which is where our scalable GreenLake model helps architect the hybrid world for all your workloads, which is frictionless, single window to drive scale and to optimize your operations with no lock-ins. So today I'm really excited to launch HPE GreenLake Try and Buy Offer, experiencing the advantages of cloud economics in your data center or at the co-location facility. And we have in fact partnered with our co-location partner, CtrlS, to deliver benefits of a public cloud-like experience while letting customers keep full control of the IT with the advantages of co-location, which actually relieves our customers from the capital expenditures and the burden of running a data center in their own premise. And this entire HPE GreenLake model is extended to the co-location facility with no upfront investment, and where you benefit across the whole life cycle, starting from design to implement and to run. And HPE takes the lead and takes care of synchronizing all parties involved without, again, you having to worry about it with a single contract. It's a unique opportunity for our customers to try out their workloads in real life production-like environment. And to explain more about the offering, let me bring Vikram, our country manager for GreenLake Cloud Services, HPE India, to share more about the offering and our partnership with CtrlS. Thank you so much. Over to you, Vikram.
Thanks, Bhawna, for the intro, and I'll take over from here. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Vikram Kumar. I lead the GreenLake Cloud Services business for HPE in India. Today, we are going to talk to you about the GreenLake workloads and the kind of partnership that we have with our strategic colo provider partners, CtrlS and SIFI. So without any further ado, let me quickly jump into today's agenda. So I'm going to briefly talk to you about what HPE GreenLake is, what are the offerings under HPE GreenLake, and touch a little bit upon the HPE hybrid cloud strategy with GreenLake Central, and a brief introduction to what the colo providers like CtrlS and SIFI can together offer along with HPE GreenLake, and also give you a sneak preview of the HPE GreenLake Try and Buy offers that we have created for you along with our colo providers. So first about GreenLake. If you look at HPE GreenLake, I think this is the pivot for HPE to transform towards as a cloud and as a service company. And if you look at the entire HPE strategy, whether customers' data or applications are residing in the edge or on-prem in their own data centers or in the colo provider space or even in the public cloud, we want to give a seamless experience to our customers from edge to cloud. So we actually call HPE GreenLake a cloud that comes to you. And we do this in a very, very intuitive self-service model. It is a completely pay per use and pay on consumption kind of a model. It can both scale up and scale down, and it is also managed for you. So we believe that customers who are looking at their infra footprint holistically can definitely look at HPE GreenLake as a central theme for any kind of new project that they are undertaking or any kind of infra refresh that they want to do for refreshing any of their existing infrastructure, which is more than 4 or 5 years old. So under HPE GreenLake Cloud Services, right from the basic infrastructure as a service, which could be either compute, storage, networking, we have some of the most popular workloads that are available in the market as an outcome or as a service. For example, we have VDI as a service, we have data protection, which is backup as a service, we have the private cloud offering as a service, we have containers as a service. So most of the popular common workloads that our customers have been asking for are already available under the GreenLake portfolio as an outcome or as a service to our customers for consumption. What this model basically means is when customer is looking at a simple workload, which is their production environment, there could be a increase in their usage based on the kind of peaks that they're having in their business, which typically could happen during the end of the month activity or at the beginning of the month activity. So what happens is there is a local buffer that we maintain at all times for the customer. The customer draws the increased capacity from the local buffer and gets added to the production. And as and when the workload goes back to its steady state, the capacity is decreased from the production environment and gets added to the local buffer. So this is a very simplistic and graphical way of how the whole system works, that we deploy extra capacity beyond what customer may actually need. And based on the actual requirement at that point in time, customer can consume. And then that is what gets metered and billed for the customer. So I'll slightly give a slightly more detailed representation of this. On the x-axis you see time, and on y-axis you see the dollar. So if a typical workload of the customer is this dark blue line, it grows as the time increases, the workload and the load increases, and the consumption increases. And what happens, and based on our experience, what we have seen by customers is the orange line is how the customer buys for various reasons. Customer may buy because they feel that the technology might not be available, or their budgets are for the next 2 years, 3 years, or they might be getting a slightly higher discount from the vendor they are buying. So they end up buying in steps. But what this also means is there is a lot of underutilization in the initial part of the infrastructure life cycle, and these are the potential savings that are lost for the customers because of over provisioning. And there could be short periods of time when actually capacity is over the actual inventory that the customer has, and that leads to deterioration in performance, and the user response suffers, and then customer goes and upgrades, and again there is a lot of over provisioning there. So in order to avoid this whole issue of over provisioning and buying more than what customer needs, I think GreenLake gives great flexibility to the customer. So what happens is, if you see the blue line here, and you can just probably see the gray line in the background here. So what happens is, as per the GreenLake framework, we install the capacity, which is what is represented here by the gray line, and your blue line is actually the actual capacity that you need, and we peg for the customer a minimum reserve or a committed level, which is much lower than what the actual utilization is. So this dotted green line is what the customer commits for, and the installed capacity is what the gray line is, and at any point in time, whatever is the utilization between these two lines is what the customer gets metered for and billed. So by doing this, customer can easily have efficiencies in terms of cost savings, because at no point in time is he paying more than what his actual utilization is, number one. And number two, also this mitigates the customer's risk that at any point in time, should he have a higher requirement, it is also getting mitigated, because at all points in time, the installed capacity is more than the actual utilization that is envisaged by the customer. So this is a very simple way of illustrating how this whole model works. I'll move on. And what we have done is, for all the workloads that I shared in the previous slide, whether it is backup as a service, HPE private cloud as a service, or VDI as a service, or container as a service, we have what we call as t-shirt sizes, small, medium, and large. It is a combination of hardware, the requisite software, and the services that come along with it. When I say services, it could be implementation services if it is a new greenfield setup, or if we are migrating from existing infrastructure which is old into the new infrastructure. So it could also have migration services, and it could also have managed services, which could be optional for the customer if the customer wants HPE or partner to do the entire end-to-end management of L1, L2 kind of operations. So we can also do that. So it is a combination of hardware, software, and services, and all these workloads are in what we call as t-shirt sizes, small, medium, large. So for any workload, whether it is infrastructure as a service or containers or virtualization, so for every single workload there are t-shirt sizes defined, and this comes as a pre-packaged workload for our customers. Above all this, we also give to all our GreenLake customers what we call as GreenLake Central. This is our flagship offering for all GreenLake customers to manage their entire infrastructure, whether it is on-prem, off-prem in a colo provider space, or in the public cloud in a single pane of glass. So if you have instances which are, let's say, in Azure or AWS, or you have instances which are on-prem in GreenLake or in colo provider space under GreenLake, everything will be visible to the customer on a single pane of glass here. And you can monitor whatever information is required by different persona in the organization. So if you're an IT person or a CIO, you can get information around what is your monthly utilization, what is the amount of money you're paying, how your capacity is being utilized across different segments of infrastructure, and all the information that is required by different persona, CIO, CFO, all included. Okay. So that's how it works. So I will quickly switch gears and give you a glimpse of a few workloads. Due to the paucity of time, I have not been able to include all the workloads here, but I will give you a snapshot of a few workloads. Like, for example, for infrastructure as a service, I want to cover storage here. Okay, so what we have seen is, based on our research, there is an average wait time of about 3 to 6 months for storage across 39% of our customers. And also, because of storage disruptions, companies lost anywhere, 29% of the companies lost anywhere between 100 to 250K of revenue. And also, I think companies are over provisioning storage to the extent of 53% by purchasing storage upfront, and this is potential savings for customers. So if you look at the GreenLake infrastructure as a service for storage, I think it delivers faster time to market for the customers, and it gives them the scale. It also helps the customers to pay for what they use and also frees up their IT resources. So whether you look at any of the mission critical environments that customers are running, they can choose to go for the HPE Primera platform, HPE Primera platform. For all their business critical needs, they have the choice of both Primera and Nimble. And for general purpose storage, they again have the choice of Nimble. So whether if customer has the choice of the platform, so they can actually choose the product or the underlying technology or solution, and also choose the kind of capacity and the kind of performance that they need on that, and make the selection for their storage demands. Similarly, for private cloud, 40% of the customers are still running their applications in a private cloud, and the anticipated increase is to the tune of 41%. So what HPE has done, we have launched the HPE Private Cloud offering. It's a very, very simple offer. So as you can see here on the right side, within 5 clicks and within 2 minutes, we want the customers to be able to provision their entire VMs. And this is a combination of HPE hardware and VMware software that comes to you as a single packaged offering. So you can easily spin up your VMs, and what comes as a combination to you, as I said, is the entire HPE consumption-based infrastructure and the entire offering of the VMware software, which will help you, do from bare metal provisioning to orchestration and creation of your VMs in a very, very simple outcome. So this becomes very, very simple for the customer to, create VMs in a quick manner and deploy them. So these are actual screenshots that you can see from GreenLake Central itself. The customer can go ahead and deploy their HPE private cloud setup by as I said earlier, 5 clicks, within 2 minutes you can easily create your VM and also provision them. You can have your images of operating environment, which we can go and quickly deploy on these VMs. And as I said, comes fully configured with the entire solution. So it comes with this is just a sample for illustration: HPE client, DL360 server, Nimble storage, Aruba network switches, VMware vCenter, and the cloud management portal and gateway. And from your GreenLake Central portal, you can easily access, provision, and meter. So you will be able to know how many VMs you have created, deployed, what is the actual utilization, and this is how it is delivered to you as an outcome from a HPE private cloud as a workload standpoint. Coming to HANA, HANA has been one of the most successful workloads for us globally and in India. So from our research, we feel that 70% of our HANA customers want to keep their HANA application, which is mission critical, on-prem. And there is a huge opportunity for us with 35% of the customers yet to start their production workload for HANA. And the magic year, as everyone knows, is 2027, where customers have to fully migrate from their SAP core to HANA. So this is a great opportunity for us and our customers to look at the entire thing holistically from a platform, people, and process perspective. And why HPE GreenLake makes so much sense for a HANA environment is because we provide the metering at the HANA database level, as it is seen from the SAP GAL, which is the global allocations list, which means that if customer says, hey, HP team, my requirement is 4.5 TB, so maybe we'll deploy a SAP HANA database server, which is 6 TB, and what the customer might pay is only for 4.5 TB, and whatever is actually the consumption that is seen from the SAP GAL is what gets metered and paid for the customer. So this significantly reduces the need for the customer to over-provision infrastructure for SAP HANA than what they need. And there is complete transparency for the customer to look at what they're consuming, and they pay for what they use. Let me also talk a little bit about what HPE GreenLake and our colo providing partners like CtrlS and SIFI have to offer, I think this is a great win-win strategy for everyone, which is HPE colo partner and our customers, because we give the end-to-end solution to our customers in a single framework. So there is no upfront capital outlay for the customer. The entire workload, which is including IT and non-IT, which is the facility and everything, is delivered as a service, and customer gets to choose the underlying technology and the systems that are required for a certain workload, faster time to value, and because of the whole outcome being delivered as a hybrid environment, customer has a choice of consuming what they need. And also this eliminates the need for customer to invest time and resources in managing the non-IT resources. Okay, so what can we include as a part of this offer? So HPE GreenLake can include the entire offering here, and it comes in a single invoice to the customer. So IT, non-IT, everything, and the complete design, implementation, and run part is taken care by the combination of HPE and colo partner. And our colo providing partners also bring a lot of complementary services, which could be right from designing and implementing the data center requirements for the customer, which could include specialized power and cooling requirements. They can do a network design and integration for the customer, and the security also could be included as a part of this. And optionally, we could also provide managed services either from HPE team or from the colo partner team. So this is a very, very good win-win for customer as well as HPE and the colo partner, and this, we believe, creates a lot of value for our customers. So I'm really happy to share with you that worldwide we have almost inching towards the 5 billion TCV mark for contracts under GreenLake, and we have almost 1,200 customers under the GreenLake umbrella, more than 900 partners who are been involved in serving the customers under GreenLake. And last but not the least, we have a fantastic retention rate of customers either renewing or continuing their existing GreenLake contracts. So let me now summarize what this whole offering of HPE GreenLake and as a service means to our customers. We believe that it significantly reduces the time to value for our customers, and in some cases we have seen as high as 75%. It greatly reduces the risk for our customers by reducing unplanned downtime to the tune of almost 85%, because HPE and partner are guaranteeing as an outcome to the customer. Definitely cost savings, it depends from customer to customer, workload to workload, but we see significant cost reductions for the customers and savings for the customers, because number one, there is no upfront payment from the customer, and number two is that whatever over provisioning customers have been traditionally doing for whatever reasons, and sizing their infrastructure for peak loads has been taken care of. So there are significant cost savings in terms of over provisioning, and it since it is under your control, administered by your policies, you have full control and insight into what is happening inside the environment. This is not a multi-tenant environment. This is a dedicated single tenant environment for a particular customer. So a customer has full control over whatever infrastructure is getting deployed. So we are happy to share that this is a growing list of technology partners, and we keep adding more and more partners. For example, I talked about SAP HANA. For backup, we have tied up with Veeam. I spoke about VMware. The most common operating environments, SUSE, Red Hat, Microsoft are all there. We have tied up with Nutanix. So this is an ever-growing list, and we keep adding to this list based on the workloads that we are getting requests from our customers for. And this is a growing list. And also we have a whole list of hosting and system integration partners and channel partners who work within the HPE GreenLake ecosystem. So if you are, as I said, if you're evaluating any new project, a greenfield project, or you have infrastructure which is more than 4 or 5 years old, and you really want to ascertain whether GreenLake is right for you, or in what form and shape you can embrace this whole as a consumption model for you, please do give us a call, and we will be happy to do a small technology evaluation workshop for you and suggest what are the likely areas for improvement and cost optimization, and we can suggest the right roadmap for you. So this is something that I want to leave behind with all of you. And quickly jumping into the try and buy workloads that we are offering as a part of this offer, we have infrastructure as a service, which is compute and storage. I did cover the storage part during my presentation. We have containers as a service, which is with the HPE Emerald platform. SAP HANA as a service is available. VDI as a service is available with a combination of either Citrix or VMware Horizon, and HPE Private Cloud as a service with VMware, and high performance computing as a service. These are the 6 workloads that we have started as an initial try and buy offer for 30 days for our customers. So I would really encourage all of you to visit the landing page that has come to you, and take advantage of this try and buy offer for 30 days. So I'll stop here now. Thanks a lot for your patient hearing. And I will now invite my friend from CtrlS, Vikas Bakshi, who is the Senior VP and Head of their Global Alliances and India business. Hi Vikas, how are you doing?
Absolutely fine, Vikram. Thank you for inviting me for this session, and looking forward to having a more fruitful conversation in terms of how can we help both our customers evolve in terms of what we can take them through on their journey.
Yeah, absolutely, Vikas. And there is a lot of value that co-location partner like CtrlS brings to the table. So let me first start with shooting my first question. Can you just give a brief preview of what CtrlS does, and what are your capabilities, and so that our customers who are not aware of CtrlS get an insight of what you do in India?
Absolutely, for all customers out here, CtrlS is Asia's largest rated for hyperscaler data center, right? And we are a provider. We've been in existence for more than a decade now, operating almost 1 million square feet of data center space spread across Mumbai, Hyderabad, Noida, and Bangalore. Right? We operate on a LEED Platinum certified data center facilities, completely green data center. That's where we really bring down the cost of ownership in terms of power savings and stuff like that to our customers. We currently cater to a cross-section of customers across BFSI, telecom, utilities, a lot of hyperscalers, healthcare, and stuff like that. As part of our journey, we are also looking at expanding our presence with a lot of smaller data center capabilities that is going to extend across India, where we're building a lot of edge data centers and across multiple locations, 30 plus odd locations that we are talking about, and can be stretched across 200 plus in the next couple of years. The idea is to come and see and deliver services which can render come closer to the end customers, right? And that's the kind of stuff we do. Our services portfolio primarily include a lot of providing data center infrastructure, providing storage, providing backup, providing hardware, and providing disaster recovery on demand, those kind of stuff. So that's where we do what we do from a CtrlS perspective, right? So that's what CtrlS is all about. Yeah. So Vikram, we've been evolving as an organization, but this is where we are, and this is the kind of roadmap we have. One of the other things that we're looking at from a CtrlS perspective is to see if we can really expand across outside of India, to see if we can build some data centers in some of those tier 2, tier 3 countries going forward. And that's part of our roadmap.
That's great, because I think good to know that you are the largest data center provider in the whole of Asia. That's fantastic. So with reference to your presence in India, I surely know that you have a lot of data centers in the metros. So can you just give a brief a snapshot of your presence across India, because what you rightly said, disaster recovery as a service, a lot of our customers who are based in large metros like Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai are really looking at having their disaster recovery site in maybe a different location, like maybe a Chennai or maybe like a Hyderabad or maybe somewhere else across the country. So so if you can just let us know what is your footprint coverage. And also I think what really happens is when customers talk about co-location, they sometimes get confused with the public cloud kind of offerings. But if you really see customers, I know of customers who want to do IT audits, right? They want to physically go and check whether that server cage or the rack is having a lock and key, and whether the access control for getting into the server room, how safe it is, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how those kind of customers really want to go into a public cloud. So maybe you can throw some light on some of these kind of requirements that come to you, so that we can articulate to our customers what is the value that we are bringing to them.
Sure. So thanks, Vikram. I know just to give a brief about initially, let me talk about the kind of capacities, the kind of investments we have done on our data centers, and why customers all across India prefer, and across segments prefer to come to CtrlS and utilize a data center. Currently, just between Mumbai and Hyderabad, the two major sites of ours, apart from Noida and Bangalore, we currently have around 12,000 rack spaces, right? These are the larger ones that we're talking about. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 is getting rolled off, right? And this can cater to a lot of the computing needs, space needs for your computing, for storage, telecom, stuff like that. Being green data centers, they've been built very, very innovatively with a lot of power efficient and cooling technologies, which is backed by redundant power systems. And that's one of the reasons why the Tier 4 certification has been put up, ready for business to move in. And I can also tell this very proudly, Vikram, in the next 6 months to a year, you will see 2 large DC parks coming up in Mumbai and Hyderabad, which will add up capacities almost 2x, 3x of what we are currently talking about, right? Mm-hmm. That's the kind of demand that we're seeing from customers. You're right. There are a lot of customers who talk about hyperscaler. There are also customers who also want a different kind of a solution, which is more secure, more reliable, and more closer to where they are, right? And different kind of environment that needs to be set up in the data center. So that's the kind of investments that we are talking about. And as I said, on the edge side, it's a smaller version of what we're talking, but that's a kind of spread that we are talking about, reaching out to the Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, primarily almost literally all the state capitals of India, right? So that we are talking of where we can reach out to those set of customers, providing space, providing CDN services, providing interconnections, providing cloud storage. So that's a gamut of stuff that we are currently looking at. So that's the reason why our customers would look at what CtrlS is investing on. We have humongous amount of bandwidth galore in our to be more precise in terms of what we can offer out of our data centers. We boast of almost 3 Gbps of internet bandwidth, a lot of through 9 odd major service providers, a lot of dark fiber available. So any kind of capacities can be catered to out of these data centers, right? So it's a home advantage that we are doing. We started off early. We have delivered very, very cost, I would say, effective solutions to our customers because of adopting to green technology. I can challenge you, the kind of PUEs that we have is is one of the best that you can as well get in India. You can, and the kind of people, the way we have structured data centers, we have dual redundancy built in, right from power to cooling to equipment and stuff like that. So that's a high level of redundancy that we, by choice or by default, provide to our set of customers. We understand the business that they are in, and we do that. I think you asked a very pertinent question. A lot of customers will look at kind of security frameworks, caging and locking, and what kind of a security enablement have you got. So we call ourselves that we provide 9 layers of security, a completely bulletproof security that we provide to our customers out here. So there are 9 levels of security that we are providing until you reach your space, right? And then we have we have physical security, we have network security, we have video surveillance and armed guards and a whole lot of stuff, and biometrics. So it's not easy to walk through in terms of getting inside the data center without actually going through all those 9 levels of security. So that's the kind of security frameworks we have built inside our facility. And as I said, ultimately, it's very clear. The investments that we have done to provide premium service, the investments we have done to provide value offerings with the kind of green technology adoption. We have built one of the largest solar power plants, almost a 1.5 megawatts of capacity, which is being rendered as power to these data centers. So you can imagine, we almost, just by doing so, we provide almost 30% of costs, lower down our costs of operations just by that. And then we pass this on to our customers. And that's why I guess, CtrlS stands out in terms of customers looking at us, being serious about how to run their businesses. That's important to us, and the kind of investments we're doing as far as green technology is concerned. Just to sum up, right? We are Asia's largest tier 4 data center. We have an industry uptime of 99.995%. That's the kind of deliverables that we're doing. Till date, we never had a downtime. Even during pandemic, we never had a downtime on our data centers, right? We have the lowest industry POEs that you can talk about. We're still working on to see what else can be done to come closer. It's impossible to get a 1, but see as close as what we can get. Military grade 9-layer security that I spoke about. A lot of carrier neutrality. With edge also, you will see a lot of carrier neutrality coming in. And as I said, a largest solar power plant that can be adopted. So those are the few reasons why CtrlS stands out in terms of what we have kind of invested on.
That's fantastic, because I think, very well articulated, and I'm sure the customers who are listening into this session will really, take away some of these points. So 2 questions I had. First and foremost is, since CtrlS has invested so much of money into building such state-of-art data centers, so efficient, both energy and power. Is it meant only for large enterprise customers, or really the mid-market and small customers also can look forward to something there? That is question number 1. Question number 2 is, you talked about the physical aspects of non-IT, which is power, cooling, rack space, and the works around that, security. So does it mean that customer completely takes off his headaches with respect to data center monitoring, management, and around power, cooling, and all these issues? So these are the 2 questions I thought I will just ask you. Maybe
right. I think both are very, very valid questions, Vikram. Let me put it the first way, right? To us, a large customer, a mid-sized customer, a small customer has no differentiation, right? It all varies in terms of the kind of solutions that needs to be constructed from a co-location perspective. I'm purely focusing on the co-location part of it.
Yeah.
Right? From a co-location perspective, like you said, caging, locking, video surveillance and stuff on some of those banking customers and large conglomerates who are very highly secure, or organizations which are very sensitive to the data that they are hosting up would look at those kind of solutions. But we do have a shared co-location model as well to a lot of our customers. A lot of services which are like a checklist that can be as a catalog that can be provided, box what you want, and see what the kind of services that you want to render. Whether you want to have people, or you want to have people based in those data centers, or you want us to deliver those services, lift and shift, a whole gamut of stuff is all part of the catalog of services. That's how we run and operate the show. We have stringent SLAs for each of those element of services that we render, right? Right from if a customer wants to migrate from X to Z to a CtrlS, or is a greenfield implementation, we look at the infrastructure, we look at the appliances that is coming in, we look at understanding the technology behind what has to be implemented, and then look at how the space has to be rendered, delivered, and the network connects that needs to be provided and provisioned, right? So we have separate teams with skill sets to have delivered that stuff. So we don't differentiate between large enterprise customers, mid-size customers, or small size. It all, as I said, depends on the kind of
solution that is being provided
that they would look for.
Sure.
Number 2, if I can, if I remember correct, you asked about, sorry, Vikram, if you can repeat the second part, I just missed out.
No, the second part is, I think you answered in the first part itself that you have a catalog of services, and whatever the checklist is customer wants, they will get those services, and you are also going to deliver a SLA.
So one other thing, if you notice on CtrlS, we have been in this space for a long time. We've built a 4C framework for our CtrlS to deliver services to a lot of banking customers. We've included security, a very strong SOC services practice, which we plug on to customers who want it. But the reason I'm bringing this point across is we are kind of empaneled with MIT and GCC, the government community cloud. In these data centers, we are able to deliver large scale transformation for those banking customers or those government customers as sensitive as they can be in this very same premises with all the services that we can provide across the enterprise. So that's the other reasons why a lot of customers come to us, because of the kind of uptimes that we have provided to the businesses and the kind of expansions and certifications and compliances that we follow. We also have, by the way, Vikram, just as an add-on, because we ran a 4C framework, we understand security well. We also run something called a compliance as a service, which is an add-on to a customer who says, I just want to understand what are the various things that I need to follow, right? Keep a track of. And normally customers used to run the show, as you rightly said in the beginning, run audits and stuff like that. We even help on those audit process. We help run those compliances as a service. So you don't have to bother about seeing how that is getting run through, and you can just assign it to us and we can take care of that for you.
Sure. So I think very well articulated, Vikas, and that brings me to the next question. That today's digital transformation is just not about providing the physical infrastructure, right? Whether it is co-location, rack space coming from CtrlS, or the infrastructure which is coming from HPE. There is a lot of expectation from the customer to deliver a certain set of services to complete the implementation, and you spoke about some of those aspects. So I really wanted to understand from you, what are the other services that the customers can avail from CtrlS in terms of network, for security. You just briefly mentioned it in terms of security, and maybe also in terms of something around the managed services or specific application related services, like we are planning to offer SAP HANA services. So what kind of services that does CtrlS offer around HANA? So maybe you can give a sneak preview of the kind of services portfolio that you offer, so that customers can make a note of that, and also include that as a part of our offering.
Absolutely. Very pertinent question, Vikram. We realized, I would say about 5-6 years back, or maybe around a decade back, that we need to also enhance the kind of value services that we can offer to our customers. We started off this journey by offshooting of a company called Cloud4C, which is part of CtrlS, right, which focuses on managed services, right. We started off supporting SAP on their SAP HEC portfolio of solutions that they were offering to customers. So, over a period of time, we have kind of handled terabytes of data of SAP workloads, and almost 550 odd customers of SAP HEC customers that are hosted with us, right, in our infrastructure in India and across in 25 countries, around DCDR, more 55 odd locations, right. And that's how we started our journey on the managed services side, right. So as an organization, Cloud4C, which is a CtrlS company, is now become one of the motto that we have is to be one of the world's leading automation-driven and application-focused managed services provider, right, where we're managing mission-critical applications with a very factory-based approach on any of the cloud platforms. When I say any of the cloud platforms, public, hybrid, private, we run customers across and leveraging and providing automation-driven services and a kind of a factory model across of delivering services to our customers. So that's something that we have kind of invested on. We want to be a global leader in multi-cloud migrations, managed services, supporting a lot of native deployments. So with HPE, we are pretty excited because a lot of native and hybrid cloud deployments across utilizing our data centers can be delivered and rendered. And as a partner, we can add in a lot of value with the services competencies that we have built and then various transformation pieces that a customer would like to take, especially with the ecosystem of startups, ecosystem of small, medium enterprise. I think there is a feeling that we need to go agile in terms of what we can expand with, what is the technology that can be adhered to, adopted. And that's where we are pretty focused and see how we can deliver. And in this managed services space, one differentiator that we brought in, Vikram, is we deliver services up to the app layer. So we have kind of integrated a lot of ISV ecosystem, SaaS players to see how we can structure with HPE GreenLake as well. We see how we can really complement what you have to offer from HPE GreenLake perspective, so that a customer gets an end-to-end perspective, which includes services, includes security as an add-on. So these are again catalogs that can be enhanced as value to what HPE GreenLake would have to offer.
Sure, I think that's great. In fact, I always looked at C4C and CtrlS as one and the same. Maybe I thought it was the new branding, but I never realized that it is the services arm. And the plethora of services that you offer is very, very interesting and maybe very relevant to the current digital transformation that our customers are undertaking. So coming back to my next question, Vikas, HPE and CtrlS have been long-term partners. I know a lot of the services that you are providing is based on the HPE platforms of compute storage. So, can you just, and you also head the global alliances for CtrlS. So, can you just, throw some light on the HPE CtrlS partnership, relationship, and, how do you see this relationship, fructifying as we move forward? And what is the kind of excitement that is there within the CtrlS and C4C teams now that we are coming with a very, very structured programmatic approach on how we want to go after specific segments of the market.
So I'll tell you this, Vikram, it has been a fantastic journey so far, right? Right now, I mentioned about this. We are SAP's premium partners, hosting a lot of huge workloads of SAP HANA worldwide. And believe me, when it comes to SAP hosting with SAP, it could not have been possible without HPE. Almost 35% of our workloads are actually residing on HPE's premises in terms of the compute and the
platforms,
the platform, right? And that's where we started off. It's massive. I can add on, right? It's just not the SAP piece. I can tell you this: a lot of smart city projects, safe city projects that we're doing out today, a lot of government and enterprise customers on our private cloud environments and hybrid cloud environments. We kind of had a very strategic partnership with HP and HPE to see how we can really drive this conversations together as a strategic intent. We don't look at just the price element to what can be offered to a customer. We look at the value prop in terms of providing the right kind of solutions, efficiency, and reliability that can be brought in. And that's what we come in and we look at, we value this partnership with HP that we have built in. We have served a lot of larger conglomerates across the world, with very complex workloads, with the support of HPE out here, right? All kinds of models that we worked on: one-time migration, as a service modeling, just a services partner, just a colo partner. There are a whole gamut of stuff. It all depends on how we can co-construct and make it interesting to a set of customers. So that's exactly how I look at it. I think there's scope for doing a lot more. And I think we are excited to see how we can really partner with you on going segment by segment, in terms of what we can really bring out to customers together to create that value prop, to create the sense of how we could help them in this journey, in the transformation journey that they are trying to adopt and take up. I can tell you, from our perspective, to all our joint customers with HPE, right, we have probably at this point in time given services around assessment as is and what should it be. We do a lot of R-learning exercises across, right? What is the kind of transformation roadmap that we can build up to a customer, especially customers who want to take. So those are some stuff that we add on as additional services over on top of what we have partnered with you on from HP perspective. Then how can we help on the migration? And absolutely, you're talking about a lot of modernization using HP GreenLake yourself. But if there's an element of things that has to be adopted beyond what you have to offer, that's something that we can absolutely add on and support customers on that particular journey. So we're looking at how we automate. And one of the very strong things that we do, Vikram, from our side, a lot of our service delivery is adopting automation, right? We have used DevOps, we've used AI Ops into our entire delivery process, right? As an organization, both CtrlS and Cloud4C is a completely DevOps-enabled company. All our processes are completely enabled with the DevOps perspective. On a DevOps perspective, we use a platform called Shop, which we are actually selling it as an IT automation tool as well to a lot of our customers. But just giving you a perspective, that's one of the reasons why we are able to be very agile, very less human dependent, probably giving a more value prop to our customers in terms of cost optimization and delivering those services. So pretty excited how we can really structure this together to our customers. Pretty excited about the partnership we have with HP. I think there's huge amount of scope in terms of what we could do together.
Yeah, thanks Vikas for those kind words. And in our minds also, CtrlS and C4C are really strategic the way we want to go and address specific segments of the market. And you are right that there is definitely strengths on both sides, and what we bring to the table as a technology provider, and what you bring to the table for customers as a service provider, and the extended set of services from your catalog that you offered, I feel is of great value to our customers. I was just thinking, sometimes what happens is when I was talking about this with one of our customers, and customer in his, and this is procurement, so procurement usually has their style of puncturing your pitch, right? So customer, yalla tum kya karoge yaar, tum single invoice generate karoge, usse zyada kya karoge? So I said, sir, it is not single invoice. It is really, delivering an outcome, and, we are responsible for the whole solution. And it is just not about hosting or power and cooling. It is about the end-to-end, right? You are looking at an outcome. And when you are talking about consumption-based, or you are talking about pay-per-use, and the way we are offering under GreenLake, and if I am getting a bunch of services from a colo partner, then I am responsible for it, right? I may have, whatever arrangement with my partner, sometimes partner can lead in some specific transactions. In some specific transaction, HP can lead. But end of the day, whether partner leads, then he is accountable for the entire set of solution that he is delivering, including HP, and whatever arrangement is between us stays with us. Customer is completely transparent. Similarly, when HP-led or front-ended transactions are there, whatever arrangement we have with the partner, customer is completely transparent. And this is just not a single invoicing kind of model, right? Things have to also work in the first place. So, do you get such tricky and funny questions from any of the customers? And what is your message? I'm sure a lot of customers are listening into this. And I may have played the devil's advocate and asked this question, but I think it is good to take this question head on. People should not think that this is a simple commercial arrangement, and but also appreciate the kind of mutual complementary services and portfolio that we are bringing to the table.
Vikram, I think very pertinent questions, right? Believe me, customers who come to us says, "यार मैं अपनी नौकरी तुम्हारे ऊपर दाव लगा रहा हूँ," right? Because that's a trust factor that they have to see.
Correct,
right?
correct.
It's all about that, right? They see a lot of people making a lot of overcommitments, right? I can do this, I can do that, this can be delivered. According to me, everything is in terms of what you're offering as a pudding to a customer, right?
Yes.
Is there a history behind how we have done this to a customer? Is there a reference behind what we have done with multiple other customers? That's a trust factor that needs to be established, right? I think what I'm fortunately seeing now from the previous era days, it used to be all about, oh, this fellow gives me this price, you tell me what the price is, because it was commodity sell.
Yeah,
right?
correct.
What we're talking now is about, it's not just a commodity sell, because not the hardware that we are selling, it's not a product that we are selling, it's a service that we are probably reaching out to customers for. We always talk about reliability. We always talk about efficiency. We always talk about, having a peace of mind, right? Aap baith jao shanti se, I can take care of. I talked about compliance as a service, right? Can I really come back and make the customer focus on his core business, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That's exactly what a customer today starts talking about. He looks at, okay, aaj hum ye kar rahe hain, is there something else that I have? So I tell my folks, and that's something that I love having conversations with customers is, this is something you want to do now, but is there a business objective that you have, say short term, mid term, long term, that you want to attain? How can I be part of that journey? Because that's the trust factor that comes in, because the customer starts trusting you as a good consultant in terms of you understand his business, you understand the technology that you're bringing in from a perspective, you understand the services that you can render to a customer. So it's a partnership with, say, what HP would offer from a technology perspective, what our CtrlS Cloud4C would offer from a services rendering perspective, and to a customer, that combination is what he's looking at. Can I trust this partnership, right? And if you can really do that, I think a lot of customers ask these questions. And believe me, these are very basic questions that you'll ask for. And as customers are getting young, right? As customers are getting more tech savvy, right? The generation shift is happening, right? They are looking at adopting new age technologies. They're looking at adopting what can be done better, looking at peers, not only in India, but also outside, how they have grown. So there are examples. And I think that's a good part in terms of having conversation, which is first on technology, then on the commercial side, then having the vice versa, which probably was the case, say a few years down the line. I think whatever good or bad, I would say this, I went through COVID myself, all my 4 family members, all of us were down a year back. But the good part I see is the thought process of customers have completely shifted to as is the way they used to operate to what they would want to be, especially in terms of adopting cloud. I think that's a good shift, and it's probably fast tracked 2 or 3 years ahead. And who knows, how it takes off. And I'm hearing a lot of digital initiatives also happening on the government side. So pretty excited about how CtrlS and Cloud4C can really take that jump along with you and see how we can support customers as they take these journeys forward.
Great. Very insightful points from your side. So also I wanted to ask you, Vikas, if you really see, in the last 15 to 18 months during COVID, I think the hyperscalers have made a lot of progress because customers wanted to deploy something very fast, so they didn't have the time to wait. So definitely, the hyperscalers have made progress in the last 18 months. So, but definitely customers are still hesitant to put their mission critical or business critical workloads into the hyperscalers. That is a definitely feedback that I get across all customers. even mature customers who have been, cloud, public cloud users for the last 5, 6 years also. Okay, because in their minds, they have clearly carved out, where or which workload goes to the public cloud and which doesn't. So that is the first point I wanted to make. But what I also see is customers are really not looking at revamping their existing data centers. Okay, if customer ABC has a large data center and they have in a particular metro and they have a DER in another metro, they are probably the data centers are 7, 8, 10 years old, and they're really not looking at revamping those physical data centers for whatever reason, and but at the same time, they want to have full control, and they want to operate the whole mission critical, business critical app data setup the way they've been operating. So they are looking at co-location as a very, very, as good as their own data center option. And what we want to pitch as HPE GreenLake and with CtrlS team is that, this is as good as your data center. It is a single tenant environment for you. The entire, as you said, the layers of security, physical, whatever form of security is there. Then the infrastructure is dedicated for you. It is not a shared infrastructure for you. And there is a catalog of services for you to bring the efficiencies and around network security, and all these services are being offered. So in your mind, do you think this is a very, very attractive and a viable option for customers who don't want to put their mission critical, business critical workloads in the public cloud? At the same time, they don't want to invest in augmentation of their existing data centers, and they are looking at co-location as an option. But at the same time, want to have the flexibility and the agility of what is being given in public cloud, and they want to pay for what they consume and pay for what they use. So you think this is a deliverable value proposition from our partnership for all our customers who are listening?
So let me put it this way, Vikram. I think you're hitting a raw nerve. A lot of customers in terms of how decisions need to be taken. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. See, I think the hyperscalers have done well during pandemic. They have grown exponentially. I think the results of all of those three people does count in terms of what they need to do. But not to say that the co-location business or the what we call as a private cloud business, how we structure this hybrid environment, has also grown. Right, the percentage of growth have also been faster than what it used to be earlier. Maybe the rate of growth, because the base is larger, is not as probably bigger as what the hyperscalers would put across. Correct. You're right. I'd say very few customers who have taken probably take 100% jump to a public cloud environment. So if you see, even a lot of hyperscalers are talking about putting up a hybrid cloud platforms, right?
Absolutely.
Anthos, you talk of Outpost, you talk of Azure Stack and Arc. So they're all coming on the hybrid cloud. Why is that? Because customers do not want to put all their workloads.
Yeah, and just to add, because I think customers are primarily grappling with few issues. One being latency is definitely an issue that they've been grappling with, and they feel that what environment that they used to create on-prem, the same creation of same environment is different in all the three hyperscalers. It is not the same, and also they're really worried about the data egress and ingress charges, right? Maybe storing is cheaper, but getting the data back might be more expensive.
We have had a lot of customers. Yes, that's an absolutely good point that you're bringing up. Yeah. A lot of customers probably would not have understood it, especially if you take a lot of storage, getting the ingress and egress costing makes it humongous, right? And we've seen a lot of customers who have taken journeys to public cloud, but also customers who have come back saying that, no, I would like to have a mixed match of a hybrid environment. Maybe put some workloads on public cloud, maybe have the rest of it, the critical ones sitting out here, especially the, what do I call it? Hindi mein bolte hain na ki, aapke khoon pi jata hai. Those kind of stuff. Workloads to be sitting at your whole place. So that's the kind of stuff that they are looking at, what you could probably put on those environments, have a mixed pack. I think there's plenty of solutions. Whether we talk of VMware talking about workloads that can go on hybrid and stuff, I think you have factored solutions of VMware on your own stack as well. Right? But there are combinations that customers are looking at in terms of how they can be really effective and how they want to operate. I think it's an evaluative phase, right? My take is, at least for quite some time, customers would not probably go, not all of the sectors would go on 100% public cloud. There is bound to be a lot of hybrid environments probably coming into play. Segment by segment, it depends in terms of how they can take a journey, whether they can take a journey to public cloud or they want to retain in private or hybrid or a co-location environment. But it's a journey that is evolving, right? And there is a lot of pressure, peer pressure coming in all over the place in terms of what could the best suited ones. Uh, Enterprise is in a flux, but I think on the government side, they're a bit more mature in terms of how they want to take that step-by-step journey to hyperscalers. They're still very sensitive about the data that they have, right?
Yes.
So that's one segment I think will remain for some time. That and banking absolutely will remain because they're very crucial in terms of how they operate workloads that they have. I think that's something that probably will see a little bit more time in terms of adopting the newer age stuff and how that impacts them from a business perspective. There'll be a few examples here and there, not to say that, but I'm sure there are humongous amount of customers still who want to be a bit more evaluative before they do want to take any of those jumps.
Yeah, in fact, because that's a very good point that you mentioned around hybrid cloud. In fact, probably HP was the first company which came out public saying that the world is going to be hybrid, because there was a theory saying that everything will move to cloud, and probably HP was the first company which came and said world is going to be hybrid. Yes, there are some cloud native workloads which might be best suited, and it is driven more by the SaaS or the platform offering around that, really not by the underlying infrastructure. That is point number one. Point number two also is that we feel that the world is going to be hybrid, and it is going to be the experience, as you mentioned, about the edge, the colo or the customer's own data center, and in the public cloud, how a customer will get a seamless experience. And HP, when we thought about this as that the world is going to be hybrid, we came out with something that how do we help customers solve this problem, and that's how probably the whole incubation for this idea about GreenLake Central came, where we are able to give customers, as we speak, what they are running in AWS, what they are running in Azure, along with what they are running in GreenLake under GreenLake in a single pane of glass, and they can see the cost, how much they are incurring, and they can also move, decide to move. If they say, okay, it is becoming more expensive, or it is growing beyond permissible limits. So I think this is something that we came out with. So I think great insights from your side also. So I'm just a little bit sensitive about the time. Maybe I'll ask my last one or two questions. So, jointly we have come out with these try and buy workloads for our customers. So, what is your thinking around this? What do you want our customers to do? There are a lot of customers listening into this. So how do you want them to take advantage of this try and buy offer that both jointly HP and CtrlS have put forward?
See, my take is, I think today you cannot ignore transformation is nice to have, right? It is mandated if you want to survive and you want to thrive. And every organization is going through that. It's a change that has to be adopted. So, in this reach, in this market outreach that we are having, we talk about a lot of startups, a lot of SMBs, a lot of mid-corporate segments day in and day out. And there's a plethora of companies in that space. And everybody's looking at how really they would want to adopt cloud and how really they would love to run the business that they want to run it. We are actually witnessing, a lot of eagerness to explore and embrace a lot of hybrid cloud solutions. And I have examples plus plenty as well, where customers have looked at public, have come back to hybrid because they want to see how that can have an impact in terms of how they balance out their transformational innovations, their R&D, their agility, their performance. All of those are good pointers, like you mentioned, Vikram, right? Which probably where people thought, yes, comes only on public cloud. I think there is a shift that's happening that can also be delivered not only on public, but also on a hybrid environment. So I think to customers who are listening to this stuff, I think it's a question of how you look at the kind of workloads that you have, how you want to balance out your transformation initiatives, your innovations that you want to achieve, the data localization. I think I see a lot of SaaS players, a lot of the startups also happen to be a lot of ISV ecosystem providers themselves, right? And technology adopters, right? It's a question of how can you really provide data localization services along with the innovations, along with the sensitiveness of the the applications or environment that you have, and that really opens up a lot of possibilities that they should evolve with this trial by offer in terms of understanding how some of these workloads can function, how they can work, and how those services and those deliverables can be rendered. If you ask me, the hybrid cloud market, is on a hyperloop trajectory, right? It should be hitting almost a $150 billion US by 2026, which you're not far away, right? It's a massive market, but it's a question of understanding how this can be done, leveraging what is being offered as a pay-as-you-go model on varied flavors of services, various automation that can be rendered over that, or some of those VDI solutions that Vikram, I think you spoke about. With pandemic coming in, remote working is the norm, right?
Yeah,
We
correct.
see a lot of
And it's
people.
going to be staying like that for some time to come, right?
Absolutely. So it's just a question of how customers would love to leverage what we have on the table and see how we can render that pieces out per se. So thanks to HP, we're looking at how we can deliver to such aspiring companies. And three cool things that I would look at. I would like to suggest to customers here is having the ammunition to streamline your needs, your assets and applications across multiple cloud environments, which is something that HP GreenLake can provide across to you, right? How you want to deploy, administer on-demand cloud resources from a single pane of glass on the hybrid cloud architecture, which again HPE GreenLake can provide to you, and other services in terms of how that can be done. Or how do you really deploy advanced solutions or an intelligent automation tools for high performance, right? Or protecting some of those sensitive data, right? And providing an uninterrupted continuity in terms of services that can be rendered. These are three cool things that customers should look out for. And I guess these can definitely be delivered by what hybrid cloud solution that HP GreenLake has to offer. I am sure CtrlS and Cloud4C both are pretty excited how we can really take this together to the market space and help customers deriving what could be, what should be, and what can be in terms of how they run their business.
Sure. Thanks a lot, because I think you really summarized that very well. And thanks for taking the time and being here today with us. And as much as you are excited, the HPE and GreenLake team is also equally excited. And we really want this offering that we are putting out for our customers and customers to take advantage of this and try out some of their digital transformation initiatives through these offers, because it is absolutely low risk, and you also get to test the kind of offering that you will get should you choose to continue. So I would really urge our customers to definitely take advantage of these try and buy offers. And this is just the beginning, mind you. We have just started off with 6 workloads, and virtually every workload that is available from the portfolio will be made eventually available for our customers jointly for consumption. So I encourage all of you to visit the website and try out the workload that is of interest to you, and do give your feedback, and we'll be more than keen to hear from you. So thanks a lot, Vikas, for taking the time, and I am really looking forward to a lot of participation from our customers across different kinds of segments, verticals, and types of customers to take advantage of this program, and then we are able to create value for them. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely, Vikram. Pleasure is all mine, and great to be discussing this along with you. And looking forward to all the customers who are watching this up, seeing how we can really support you together on this journey that you want to take, and pretty excited about it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Vikas. Thank you. Thanks everyone for being part of this event for us. And we started off with the keynote from Bhawna, followed by my presentation on GreenLake Services, and then we had the Fireside chat with Vikas Bakshi from CtrlS, where we had some useful insights from him and some interesting pointers on what they are doing. And I just wanted to thank you for being part of this, and also summarize a few points that I had made note of. So first and foremost, I want to leave you with the thought that the world is going to be hybrid, and in a world that is going to be hybrid, the journey that, or the experience that you are going to have from edge to cloud. When we talk about edge to cloud, it's from edge to your own data center or co-located premises, and something that you also have in the public cloud. So the whole gamut. So whether your apps and data are residing anywhere, you should get a seamless experience. I think that is the first promise that we talk when we talk about hybrid cloud. And I think HPE GreenLake is a fantastic solution for all our customers who want to take advantage of best of both worlds, where they want to have full control, have complete ownership, security, have the best performance in terms of low latency. At the same time, have the advantage of having business agility, paying for what they consume and what they use, and also have the choice of picking the underlying technologies which form the part of the solution. I think this is a fantastic offer that we have. And along with our colo providing partners, we bring a complete end-to-end solution to our customers. So right from co-location space, power, cooling, and the underlying infrastructure, the solution, and the added services along with that. It's a complete end-to-end offering that we bring to the table along with our co-location providing partners. And you heard from Vikas how CtrlS is providing just not physical space and power cooling, but they also have a lot of services that are coming from their services arm, which is C4C, where they are talking right from implementation services to migration services to network security and services around managing the infrastructure and up to the application level. So really interesting insights from Vikas. And with the launch of these 6 workloads that we have launched to start with our colo providing partners under the try and buy offer for 30 days. This is just the beginning of these workloads. There are many more to follow, which you would have heard in my presentation. So I would really encourage and urge each one of you to visit the website. Pick the workload that is on your immediate priority or something that you are evaluating. Try it out and give us the feedback on how it worked for you and what can be improved. And should you choose to continue, we want to deliver the same experience for you, in your production environment also. Should you choose to go for these workloads. So I would encourage all of you to take advantage of this offer. And with that, once again, I thank you for being part of this event, and thanks for your valuable time. Thank you.